Hey there, welcome back to our kitchen. I'm Casey, one of Festival's mealtime mentors. Today we're turning fresh berries into a classic dessert, blueberry cobbler. I'm really excited for this one. So to get started, we're going to work on our fruit filling. So we have some blueberries here. To this, I'm going to add some sugar, some fresh lemon juice, some cornstarch, and some ground coriander. So basically what a cobbler is, it's just fruit filling with some kind of dumpling or biscuit topping. Sort of similar to a crisp or a crumble, but those will have more of a streusel topping instead of this biscuit dough that we're going to make. And that coriander that I added is really great with these blueberries because it has kind of like a fresh citrusy flavor, and it really helps to enhance the sweetness of the blueberries. All right, so I've got these tossed together, so I'm just going to pour these right into our baking pan. We don't need to grease it or anything. And just kind of spread them out so they're kind of even around here. And then I'm just going to set that aside while I go to work on my dough. So today we're making our own dough for our biscuit topping. You could certainly use some kind of baking mix if you would prefer to make it a little bit easier, but either way it'll turn out great. So with our dough, we're starting with some all-purpose flour. I'm going to add some sugar, some baking powder, and some salt. And I'm just going to whisk that together to get these dry ingredients nice and incorporated. And then I'm going to add our heavy cream. So I'm starting with, I have about 1.5 cups here. I'm going to add about 1.25 cups and then just kind of gauge where I'm at with how the dough is coming together. So really, we're looking for this to form what's called a shaggy dough, which basically just means a really sticky dough. It'll kind of lose some of that stickiness once we are kneading with the floured surface after this comes together. With the dough that we're making here, we're going to end up baking for about 45 to 55 minutes, but if you do end up using a baking mix, you're going to want to decrease that time to about 30 minutes because that bakes a little bit quicker. Okay, so I'm actually just going to add the rest of this cream. It looks pretty good right now, but like I said, once we get it on that floured surface, that's going to really take in a lot of that flour, so we'll have to offset that a little bit. Okay, this looks really messy and wet right now, but I promise it'll turn out. So now that our dough is kind of come together here, I'm going to pull my surface over. I'm just going to flour this so it's nice and floured so the dough isn't sticking when I knead it. All right, get this dough on our surface. And I'm just going to knead this for about 30 seconds, or really just until that dough starts to come together. If you need to add more flour throughout, definitely just kind of gauge how it's coming together. Okay, so our dough's come together really well. So at this point, I'm going to separate it into about 8 discs. They don't have to be even, and I'm really just saying that because mine are not going to be even, but it'll taste the same either way. So for each disc, each little ball that you get, we'll kind of pat it into a disc about 1/2 inch thick. So then once you get your disc kind of patted out, you'll just arrange it on top of your blueberries until they're all on there. So I've got all of my discs here, just kind of arranging them over the blueberries. So now this is going to bake at 375 for about 45 to 55 minutes. Here is our finished product. This is another one that we've made. So you can see that the biscuits are nice and golden. Our blueberries are really cooked well together. So I'm going to dish this up. Oh my gosh, this smells, you can really smell the citrusy flavors from the lemon as well as that coriander coming through, which goes really well with that blueberry. And then I'm just going to top it, of course, with some whipped cream. So we hope you toss together this fruity dessert. And for more recipes and resources from your mealtime mentors, visit festfoods.com.